How long was it since you enrolled in the course? What year was that?
I think it was like,
It's pre-COVID.
yeah, it's like 18.
At that time, I remember you came in with your wife and you were refugees from the film industry, right?
Yes, yeah.
What were you doing?
And I was still working film.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, but then we also want to do like our own personal business, and then we have some experience with that. I mean, like my parents does a little bit there, but mostly we just like coffee in general. Yeah.
So I know, like, so you were in the editing room doing special effects. Was it special effects?
I'm doing like effects. Same with my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there coffee culture in the company?
Yeah. So in the studio we have like our own like cafe inside. In the studio there's like around 1,000 people in the studio.
Wow. Okay.
And then the cafe is like always busy because everyone just come down and grab coffee from there and then go back to work.
So did that sort of start you thinking about it?
No, not really. I was into coffee since like my mother used to own like cafe back in Thailand, like Cafe Dioro.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was like over 20 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, and she sold it like when I was like 10 or something.
Oh, but it's in your mind.
Yeah. At some point I was like, yeah, I should jump into that.
So you took the course. You took what? The opening business course?
Yeah, like actually the full one, like the one from barista to business.
Oh, right. Okay. And and that's right. And then at that time, I remember one of our students was going to start up a bakery coffee shop.
That's like a year after.
And a year after, and you were looking for places and hadn't found a place by then.
Yeah, not yet.
And I think I remember making you the suggestion: why don't you go stage at that other coffee shop until your permits until your permits came in for your new place.
Yeah, sure.
It's like you got to do a practice run for your shop.
So technically, that's a very good experience. Actually.
Yeah, we sort of carry that on with our alumni because we encourage them to get involved with other graduates.
Yeah, we have a few students here.
Yeah,
like here and there. So yeah.
And that's the thing is that the best thing is that if you can help someone start up, that's like, it's like a trial run over your own startup. So you get to see the mistakes that they make and hopefully you correct it before you do yours, right?
Yeah.
And I guess this time around, if you open up another location, then I guess the same thing can happen. You can bring in other people to help out with the opening parts. I remember the other shop that you staged at opened up and then COVID hit.
Yes.
Right away.
Just
that month
time,
or something like that.
Same time.
Yeah, so, and everyone thought he was dead. But you guys managed to actually have quite a successful opening. Even in spite of that, the strategy always is just be the best coffee on the block, right? Because the pastries, because he was a bakery, will win out, but then you need to win the coffee battle. I think that's what allowed that coffee shop to succeed even during COVID. It's been how long now since Lumine's been open?
3 years.
3 years. Looking back, what would you have changed?
Probably the construction process. Will probably handle more stuff myself.
Right.
Yeah, because some stuff is.
Yeah, that's always tough. Yeah, it's always tough. You always think you can trust the industry to take care of things.
Yeah. But it was in COVID period as well, so everything was super delayed.
Right.
Like the price of like the boots and everything is like technically 5 times higher than usual.
Right.
So it was kind of tough on that.
What else would you think about changing? If you had to do it over again.
Staffing in the beginning. Yeah. So in the beginning we had some help, but then it was kind of, I said, not a good planning. In the beginning we kind of overstaffed, and then for the first few months, and then that actually affected like the starting business.
Right.
Quite a bit. So probably that would not happen again.
Right.
Hopefully. Right. And then also,
how long do you think that lasted for, the overstaffing?
Oh, like 2 months.
2 months, okay.
But that's already affected by a bit.
Yeah, that's scary when you start off, but then at the same time, no one was very good at the beginning, right?
No.
Yeah, so sometimes I think it's a tough thing. Sometimes you have to not think like an accountant. Sometimes it's an investment.
Yeah.
Right, because everyone's not competent until about 2 months later, and then suddenly you can cut half the staff and still do twice the business, right?
Yeah, it's not about like the amount of the staff, but it's more like the readiness of the training. That's the issue.
Right.
Like the training period we had for like roughly half a month,
Right.
Then it was kind of too less for some situation, and that's like the main thing that I feel like okay. Another thing is when we overstaff, it's hard to actually correct each individual of the mistake that happened.
Right.
Because I was on the bar with them, but then when this another staff make a mistake, I go and help them with it. But then another one make another mistake, but then I cannot split myself. So
Right.
that was the issue. So if I kind of staff a bit more appropriate number, then it would be better. I mean, easier to kind of help them out
Right.
and how teach them the flow and everything.
Right. Right. And now your hiring philosophy is changed a little bit. I guess you're hiring less people with experience and sort of building your own people, or what do you do?
It's gonna be more half and half.
Half
I'll
and
say
half.
half and half. We still need experienced people, but then depending on the needs. So not every single person will be experienced, but
There will be some experience.
there will be some experience.
Right.
Yeah. But because that will help the newer staff to learn faster too. Because sometimes they share information. They talk when they. The main thing if the teams go well together in terms of like personality, interests, and stuff like they both like coffee, they actually share experience. They actually teach each other,
Right.
which kind of encourage people to learn a lot more and faster as well.
Okay. Do you teach them about the pastries too?
Some of them, yes.
Some of them, yeah.
If they show interest, then I'll give them some like knowledge how to bake them, how to
Right. And that must be a big attraction because, you know, like when you work somewhere that's got elite coffee and elite pastry. I never worked at a place with such a high level of pastry, but it must be a good feeling to sell that every day.
Yeah.
Say, what's that? And then you explain what it is. Yeah, I mean, because I remember that when you started, I mean, think about it. You were on. This is like 4th Avenue. It's like there's a lot of big names on this street.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that within a very few months. Actually, here we go. Here's the
student.
former student just walked in too. Actually, so you managed to become the best coffee, I think, by reputation on the block very quickly.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, no, it happened. I remember watching it happen. Like, yeah, in the beginning, you open, people don't know you because you didn't even have signage.
No.
For the longest time.
Yeah, the permit didn't came.
Yeah, and
like,
even
much
sandwich
later.
board didn't come till later, right? But
Yeah.
even the word of mouth of the coffee and the pastries, the word on the street, and plus, again, we kept sending students to go visit, but the word on the street became real quick that this is the place for coffee. So how did taking the course help reinforce that?
So technically, after taking like, the course, I actually have a chance to like help you out like at the school from time to time, and that actually kind of, especially with training and assisting new student,
Right.
that actually helped me with understanding like the process much more like deeply. I'll say.
Right.
Yeah. So that experience contributed like a lot, with,
okay.
like how I set up like the flow and everything.
Right.
Especially like how I see other people do it, and it was like, oh, okay, so new staff gonna be that. I mean, in that situation at some point. So
Yes.
give me an idea of what to counter before it actually happened.
Right.
2 times, like especially dial in, like tasting and stuff. So like right now, every new staff have to go through the same process. Like I would say, calibrating how to taste.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we always do like the split. We always give them like a chance to
Learn to
Learn
taste
how
the
to taste
taste the
things.
extraction. Yeah, okay.
because otherwise they won't know what's the issue is when it happened.
Right.
With that experience from school, I can kind of like use it like right away.
Our challenge is to create more shops like that, but also get them to teach the public what the difference is. So do you feel that you've been able to transfer that? Like, how knowledgeable are your customers?
I would say 30 to 40% actually start to pick up the pattern,
Right.
how it's different, especially the taste and everything.
Okay.
And then those who did not pick up the pattern still seems to kind of like
Subconsciously.
felt something was off when
Right.
they had like bad coffee. They feel like, okay, something's wrong, but they don't know what it is.
Right.
But people actually tends to taste it
Mhm.
even before they comes here. Like a lot of time when they have like coffee from different places, they know it's not good, but they don't know why.
Right.
Yeah, but like people actually subconsciously taste it. So when we make sure like the quality is like up to par, and then within like our control, when people taste it, they feel like, okay, this is good, even though they don't know like what's good about it. but at least we make sure like that the feeling they get from what we serve is like what it's supposed to be and what is best for them. So
Right.
yeah,
I guess that's true with everything. Because you think about it, you don't have to know what's going on with the croissants,
no,
but
yeah,
you can tell by one bite that this is different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just funny, like, you know, we say it in class all the time. I kind of laugh when I say it because it sounds ridiculous, but it's like, yeah, it's really important that you should know how to taste your coffee.
yeah, of course.
It's so
You're
basic.
serving it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think maybe that tells us that we have to step up some of the public education, right, to try and
Mhm.
help more people become tasters. 'Cause they all not going to take our courses, but we still need to educate the public because they're the ones that are going to decide who should succeed. Yeah. So I guess our work is cut out. We're going to try to maybe even that out a little bit by trying to, you know, push it towards the quality places versus the trendy places. And it's nice if you can be like Lumen and be quality and trendy.
Hopefully.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.